So for example, if someone is 18, like at least here, I'm not sure about Canada, but at least in the US, once you're 18, you're considered like an adult, right? So when you're still under 18, I can still say, you know what, I'm gonna introduce you to this if you like it or not. Like just do your best. But once they're 18 and they can say, you know, I'm moving out, I'm doing this, like what can you do at this stage? Because now we're at a different stage in life, right? They think they're grown, they think they know what they're doing, you know. How can like you can suggest all those things. If they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it, right? So what do you do in this case?
So all those alternatives that I gave, I'm just giving those alternative tools. That
Okay.
approach to connecting that person, this is where connectivity comes in.
Okay.
You have to, I don't want to talk to you. We don't want magic that will just be able to get that done. And I've been privileged in those kind of situations. So with me and what I know that works is, like I said, you are coming in, not like I'm trying to fix you. I'm your therapist. You're coming in on a parallel, me and you, youth-based for way of connection, mentorship way of connection. So the connection is more important. So for example, I can just meet like, oh, how are you doing? It's a different approach. We're not talking about therapeutic now. That's what I was saying. You have to find something. So from finding what it is that they lost. So I'll give an example. I once had someone that was, and I'm talking about very irate in terms of behavior. Cops comes in all the time. And guess what I did at the end of the day? Do you know how I got connected to this child?
Oh,
Dancing basketball. Was running around, I mean, not running around, walking around on the phone, just playing basketball. And the moment I intercept him, oh, wow, how are you doing? I'm so person. And I just kept walking along with him. So at that point in time, you're not doing the traditional therapy anymore. You have to find something that will captivate them with connection. One of the skills that you need in therapeutic intervention is, I mean, sorry, in therapeutic intervention is connectivity is so key. If you cannot connect to your audience or your client, it ain't nothing happening. So in those kind of crucial situations with those kind of client base, the connection is important, and most of also finding that inner motivator, an extreme motivator that you can connect. So you must have the parent must have told you what's going on, and they must have told you, oh, this is what she likes. Sometimes you can even intercept her, and like maybe they will say she likes to go to the park. You go there. There's so many people that do interventions in the park. Or she likes to play basketball. You join them. That's how you draw to them. So they're not seeing you as someone that's trying to fix me, but they're seeing you as someone that they can look as a mentor, especially youth-based. That's how youth-based, it has to be a parallel partnership of you're my mentor, you're my body, as opposed to
that
you're my therapist. When it
that's
gets
very
to
interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting because that's what I wanted to know. Because if they see you, they're like, "Oh, she's coming to preach to me. She's coming." So if you just go to where the parents is like, "Oh, I know they love to play basketball," and you just show up, they don't know who you are, and you just strike up a conversation, and you're like, and then from there, they get to know you at a different level
you
first.
come, you come
Come
to
at
their
them.
level,
Yeah.
their level.
So I like that. I like that. I think that
Non-judgmental, non-judgmental, collaborative, cooperative. In anything they want to do, you join them. You are at that point in time, you're the follower. Although you're trying to achieve something, but you are doing what they want you to do, right?
yeah.
That's how you can
Mhm.
connect.
That's really great. I mean, I love this conversation. I know we can talk for hours and hours and hours, but so I just love where this is going, and we don't have. I don't want us to keep talking too much. I want to bring you back so we can touch base on other things. But before we, wrap up on this, what is the final message for the community, especially with the African diaspora? Well, like, what message do you have for the parents, for the kids, anyone listening to this video right now?
My appeal to the community, including myself, I'm telling you, I'm learning every day, even as a therapist, because in some of the presenting content that I'm privileged to solve, there's always a learning factor in it. And one of the things that have come to be the learning ground for me is that we need to be present. That foundation of being present is so crucial to many, many layers of our children's life, our youth lives, than anything else. And what do I mean by that? And it's hard sometimes. Like I had this other sister of mine. We're supposed to be doing dishwashers. We say, Statue, when are we going to start doing, I've been privileged to speak on our WhatsApp group, just giving advices and everything. And, even like, for example, just talking about being present in the Christian worldview where we want to raise our kids in, in the holistic worldview and knowing Christ and everything like that. The presence is the foundation. And it can be difficult in this very fast paced 9 to 5, 7 to 3 check-ins as little as I'm a kind of person when I pick up my kids right there in the car, how was your day? Constant check-ins, being in the know, being present. Because listen, bullying is another thing that when we begin to talk more on discussions that if I tell you how bullying, how relocation, immigration, impact, like so many layers that it's not even about depression only, or it's not even about stroke or hypertension. No, we're talking about life, and because I work in the school, so such as bullying, the effect it can have, right? Racial isolation, right? What they call it, cultural shock. All of
Yeah.
these things has huge impact that when we as immigrants, new immigrants, people that have been here for so long in the diaspora, listen, the lifestyle we live in this part of the world is very different from back home where it's a community to raise your child. Here is you and face me in that room and face me in that basement. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
constant checking is so important. Being present, I know you cannot be present. That's why. So when I say present, I'm talking about checking. I'm not saying you
Yeah.
have to be in that house with that person all the time. I'm saying constant checking, checking on how they're doing, their well-being, checking even when you have those heated arguments with them. Oh, I didn't mean to do this. This is what I meant to say. Checking by validating. Oh, thank you for doing that. Kids love validation a lot. I've come to realize that. Some family will tell you they do praises, they do validation, they do raises where they raise them, talking system, right? You have to do it in where you think is fit needed. Because at the end of the day, we're raising great giants. We want to encourage them in any level so that when your child comes home, he might not see you every day, but he knows mommy cares,
Yeah.
right? So that was that love word in your home. How do you check in? How affectionate are you? How are you hearing them? Let's talk, mom, right? So connectivity, being present and checking in is so crucial that when we begin to do this, we'll be, and that applies to you also. There's a stage you know yourself, like, you know what? I think I'm not feeling too well. I think I can't stay this long in this relationship. You know, there's a way you kind of give yourself a honest worldview check and I say, you know what, this is not right. I need to get out of this relationship, right? So it applies in just keeping fit. So there's something that hashtag emotional fit. Emotional fit meaning you're checking all your emotional in all boxes to make sure why am I feeling this way? Check. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, how can I adjust it? What can I do? Right? Being emotional fit is one way to maintain a healthy mental lifestyle. I remember, just like they say, health is wealth, so is mental health is wealth. It all connectivity to your total body. And we're talking about how you said there's an effect correlation on how it can affect the, stroke and everything like cognitive, like handbook, like so many things. It connects back to the health itself when your mental wellness is at stake. So let's continue to maintain emotional fitness in all areas that you find yourself, checking all the boxes and making sure you're emotional fit because the foundation of every mental challenge is the lack of emotional responses. How am I responding to my emotional need? I think that's about it.
Thank you so much, Dr. TT, for sharing your insights. I mean, I love talking to you. We could do this for like 10 more hours, but I would definitely love to bring you back. And I think there's so much you have to bring to our community. Mental health is definitely real. And like you said, it affects everything, with our body, so it's really great to hear all this. I'm so glad to have you here. So how can people reach you? Are you on Instagram, Facebook, and how can people reach out to
Yes,
you if they
I
need
am
you?
on. I'm on Instagram at Winning Families Therapeutic, on Facebook at Winning Families Therapeutic Center. I'm also working on YouTube. I think that's where I'm going to be starting very soon. Like this kind of videos I'm going to be posting down. And I have a business line, is 905-226-8293. I'm open also to giving free consultation. I created a flyer back in the summer, but I've not really posted more of it, where particularly for the neurodivergent population. If you have any parents that just need, because trust me, these parents are burnt out already. And majority of those emotions, the majority of those challenging behaviors that you're seeing is the lack of emotional responses. So giving them the tools on why my child is screaming, why my child is jumping all over the place, right? There's a lot of neurological sensory needs that parents don't know. So I'm very passionate in giving free consultation services to this parents, families of neurodivergent populations, or ASD, ADHD, FASD, DD, LD, learning disability, all those areas. So if you know any family, I've told myself that I will give free consultation for those if they need, just giving them the tools that they need to even understand why my child is acting this way. So
This is
that's it.
great. Thank you so much, Dr. Titi. So I will definitely share your information with our viewers. And then I would love to bring you back because I want to hear more about this neurodivergent population, the ADHD, because we hear so much about it. And all we hear about is medication, medication, medication. So I would love to bring you back so we can hear more about this. And like I said, I will also share your information. You're in Canada, so I have family and friends in Canada. So definitely, I'm sure they would love to and people with kids as well. So they would love to get your information as well. And I just hope this conversation to all our viewers, this conversation encourages you to take your mental health seriously and just to check on people, even yourself. Take a step back and just look at yourself. How's my mental health? Am I stressed? Am I like sometimes you just need to take a step back. So hopefully this conversation will help you just take a step back and look at yourself, check on people around you, and just, life is too short. But while we're here, we need to take our health seriously. So once again, thank you so much, Dr. TT, for being here as a guest. We would love to have you back and just stay blessed. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.